for the delay in revenue realization and the possibility of not getting the project in the future, what's your backup plan for that?
So let's keep it simple. So there are many projects for the company to bid on each year, like almost 100. If we don't get this project, it doesn't mean that we won't get another project, right? So if we get like only 10 projects out of 100, when we are still guaranteed with the income for that year. Thank you.
So for the buys, the team that's saying buy, the question I have is that you say that the companies always ends up getting the next project. But if we look at the P&L of this company, you'll see that the revenue in the prior years went down to as low as almost just 1 billion baht. So how can you say that this company will always get a project when we have 1 year in evidence that they didn't get the project?
So about that you said that the revenue in this year is not as much as expected to be, because in the this project, which is the major project that we have, the realization of revenue in this year still like about 30 to 40%, but the company project that next year we will realize like 60%. So it's probably that this year the revenue is not reach the expectation.
From what you say, that was a year that company have only 1 billion of revenue. Well, is it true? Because that's our business. But I think for this company, the really important for this company is a reputation in our LNG industry that allows us to engage in many areas of the LNG. Because LNG not only have in Australia, it's also in Zimbabwe, the one that the companies want to bid on. Therefore, even when this company just engaged, not so long engaged in LNG, and LNG industry is growing, and this company believes that there are few modules can be made of fabrication on its refinery. This should secure for the company with a good reputation to bid on the project for the few years.
I got for my side again, but it's probably a series of questions. I was wondering one thing. As you can say, the LNG investment is the one that is booming right now and creates a lot of revenues for you. Actually, 75% coming from probably international places such as Australia. And I heard about the other arguments, the counterpart. How would you deal with that? And if that's so, what's your strategy? What's the next move? As you can say, from different countries, do you have anything in mind?
More part of the argument from the other side.
The LNG investment might be slowing down in Australia and all that stuff. So if you need to catch up with the revenues again, you need to bid for the projects, for the deal, right? And which that will last for a few years before you can get that.
See, we have a graph that represents that the LNG consumption is increasing every year, and also the demand for energy that we have to use every day is increasing every year. So even though in Australia might be slowing down, that we have a factory who sit at Rayong, where near the port. That way we can ship our product to anywhere in the world. That opened the world for us, that we can bid any project in big country like Russia or Zimbabwe or in Africa. Anywhere is not beyond our reach. So even though in Australia slow down, there's other places that also can have LNG under the earth that we can use a bit on. That's a potential project in Zimbabwe that the next year can be bid. Oh, no, this is a series of previous projects. Okay, this is a potential project in next year that we can bid on. There's a 12 project right there. We have a project in Russia, Australia, Mozambique, and refining project for UAE. Therefore, that's like pretty much cover almost every continent. Any question? From you?
Buy side get a lot of questions, so I ask the sell side. You're using the 10.5 times PE to value this STPI, is that correct? Given that the company's profit has been rising, profitability is excellent, ROE is like 30 or 35%, do you think the 10.5 is too low for you? I mean, what are your thoughts on using a 10.5 times? Why do you use the 10.5 given that the company's profits have been rising, its operation is excellent? Do you think that 10.5 is too low?
It's not too low because the 10.5 PE is actually from other companies that also invest mainly in LNG projects. I think the ROE that you are looking at is only a 1 year ROE. So if you take a look back, the ROE of the company is not stable.
Given the strong reputation of STPI in bidding projects and doing LNGs in Australia and bidding stuff, and you base your arguments on things that might happen, like for example, you might delay in the realization of the revenue, delays and the price competitiveness and things that might happen on accidents and stuff. And is that your main case, and that's why you lower your? I mean, like, is that really a good way to look at STPI given its strong historical performance and stuff?
Okay, so the question was that we'd based our arguments on things that might happen, right? Okay, so as we could see, 71% of the future revenue would be from LNG projects. That implies a very high risk. So looking at what might happen is extremely important, because if you lose all the LNG projects, and we also saw that the customers are becoming more price sensitive, well, then you've lost 71.5% of your revenue. So we think it's very important to look at what might happen, since it is a high risk.
I would like to add on from my teammates. The bidding is actually uncertain. So we have no idea that our company, no, not our company, the STB and I will win the bid or not. So there is a lot of uncertainty there, and also including the LNG uncertainty, it's actually double uncertainty. So, lower valuation.